This crypto billionaire exposes a trafficking ring in Puerto Rico led by the CIA and Mossad, then dies shortly after his post. But the most concerning part is he predicted his own death after exposing it. Nikolai Mushegian wasn't just another crypto developer. He was one of the original architects behind decentralized finance, someone who helped build systems designed to remove centralized control from money. But in the final weeks of his life, his posts stopped sounding like crypto commentary. Instead, they started sounding like warnings. He claimed intelligence agencies were targeting him. He claimed elite networks were operating out of Puerto Rico. And he claimed he was about to be framed. Then, on the same day as his final post, he was found dead. The media covered it briefly. Then it vanished. Now, before we get into it, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel down below if you are new, and turn on my post notifications so you never miss a new video. Nikolai Mushegian was a co-founder of MakerDAO and one of the early engineers behind the DAI stablecoin system. Brilliant, extremely private, and increasingly unsettled in his final months. He lived in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was only 29 years old. Shortly before his death, his online post took a dark turn. On October 28, 2022, headlines appeared reporting that crypto pioneer Nikolai Mushegian had drowned off the coast of Puerto Rico. Authorities said he was swept away by strong currents. The story circulated for about a day, then it disappeared. No sustained investigation coverage and no deep follow-up. Just another tragic crypto death added to the news cycle. Until you look at what he posted leading up to it. This first post was written on September 4th, 2022, almost 2 months leading up to his death. At this point, Nikolai says that he only sees 3 options for himself. Either he gets taken out and made to look like a suicide, he gets mentally destroyed and turns into some kind of controlled asset, or he becomes the worst nightmare to the people who were messing with him. In his own words, 3 possible futures for me: suicided by CIA, CIA brain damaged slave asset, worst nightmare of people who effed with me up until now. I am sure these are the only options. The post speaks for itself. This is someone publicly stating that he believes powerful forces are closing in. Then the next post comes on September 24th, 2022, just over a month before his death. Here he explains how extreme his situation became. He writes, "Imagine how evil someone has to be to transform me from anti-state crypto anarchist of 12 years to someone who prays to God to guide the top of food chain national security feds and their ancient karmic laws of banking handlers to come demolish this Illuminati roleplay circle jerk." Whatever you make of that post, one thing is clear. He believed hidden systems were operating behind the scenes and he was caught in the middle of them. But this last post is what changes everything. It was written on October 28th, 2022, the same day that he died. The day of his death, he writes on X, "CIA and Mossad and pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking entrapment blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands. They are going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-GF who was a spy. They will torture me to death." Hours later, he was reported dead in Puerto Rico by supposedly drowning. To this day, they have never investigated it again. Now here's the part that should concern anyone who's watching. This wasn't someone speaking anonymously. This was a well-known crypto architect documenting his fear in real time, making specific accusations and predicting his own destruction. Then he dies on the same day. When you zoom out, this starts looking familiar. After the latest Epstein saga, we learned that intelligence agencies are indeed blackmailing our politicians globally with trafficking entrapment rings, and rather than justice being brought forth, the same authorities meant to prosecute these people are complicit in the very rings themselves. The word of God shows us that darkness only survives by staying hidden. Ephesians 5:11 says, "Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them." What we are watching right now is exposure, not just of individuals, but of entire systems built on deception, control, and exploitation. Stories like Epstein, stories like Nikolai, they are not isolated. They are cracks forming in something much bigger, and God is pulling back the curtain. When the works of darkness are exposed, neutrality is no longer an option. You either confront what is being revealed or you turn away from it, because darkness doesn't panic unless it's being exposed. And this story is proof of that matter.